Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, also known as the American Expat. Today I've got an interesting topic for you guys. So we're going to be talking about finding a Chinese date. So maybe you're living in China, maybe you're looking at going over there for work, maybe you're just interested in Chinese people in general. Whatever the reason, you're looking for a Chinese date, Chinese language partner, Chinese friend, whatever it is. Well, today I'm going to give you some of the tools to better facilitate success. Stick around. Alright, before we get too far into the video, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button. Also, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. So without further delay, let's go ahead and jump into it. The first thing you're going to need, the first tool that I'm going to give you, if you want to find a Chinese girlfriend, boyfriend, friend, language partner, whatever it may be, is going to be an app called WeChat. WeChat can be found on your iOS device by simply searching for WeChat in the App Store. Or if you're using an Android device, it's also available on the Google Play Store. Just search for WeChat. Now, WeChat is a fantastic thing. Let's say, and I'm guessing that most of you probably don't speak Chinese in any sort of form, maybe beyond ni hao, and many of you probably don't even know how to say that, or what ni hao is. It's nothing bad, it's just how you say hello. But jumping into it, so it's got a lot of features. So let's say you do meet a Chinese person, and the app also has features that'll help you to do that, which we'll get into in a minute. It has translation options. So if you're having a conversation back and forth via text, well, you can translate what they're saying if they're sending you Chinese, and they can translate your English into Chinese. This is also useful if you want to learn to speak Chinese, or if they want to learn to speak English or vice versa, whatever it may be. It's a very useful thing in communication. It's also the #1 app that people use in China to communicate anyway. So if you want to call somebody up in China, you don't have to worry about getting a long-distance phone card or anything like that. Just get WeChat, and hey, if you're in America or wherever you may be, you're going to be able to call them up. You can even do a video call. Works really well. Let's get into some of the features on the app. So one of the first things you're going to want to know how to do on the app is how to add people. So there's a couple ways to do this, and if you live in China, you're going to end up doing this all the time. So the first thing I'm going to show you is adding people via the QR code. Now you can either scan their QR code, or you can show your QR code so that they can scan, and then it's just a matter of accepting once they've added you. Another way you can do it is, if they've made it possible, you can look them up with their phone number, or by their username. You can search them that way. And then you can add your friends on there, the people you encounter. Now on to another feature of you can actually look up people around you. And this is how you can meet new people that you haven't encountered yet. And you can set the distance, it'll tell you how far away they are. Simply go here, you can type on discover. What am I saying? You can click on discover and then find people around you. Now this will show you people that are nearby. Of course, I'm in some place where there's not a lot of Chinese people, so there's not going to be a lot of people around me besides my wife. And there you go. Now you can add people and find people on WeChat. Very useful app. I'm going to have to make another video to go into all the features because it does a lot more than just communication. You can do everything on this app. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so you've got WeChat, you've got your account set up. Maybe you've made a phone call, a video call to your mom or something like that, got them set up on it, and you're all excited. You get on and you do a search for the people nearby, and the only thing that comes up are people selling services. There's like people selling diet stuff and whatnot, and you're like, oh, come on, how am I going to get to people that I really want to know about? That's where groups come in. And here in a little bit, I'm going to get onto something. If you're just looking to find somebody to date, really quickly, and you just want to jump right into it, well, there's another app that I can get into, and that'll be coming up here in just a minute. But on WeChat, because I think if you're looking for a real relationship or real friends, it's probably better to do it this way, more organic. You can get into these groups. So think of something that you're interested in. Maybe it's art, maybe it's something like that. First, you can find out where the artists people hang out, and you can go over there and you can start connecting the way that I showed you, or you can get into these groups, as I mentioned, which you can do a search for. Just find some groups related to what you're interested in, and voila, people to talk to. You can add them out of the group. You can send requests to them, in most cases. And there you go. Now you'll start to get your big list of contacts in your WeChat. And pretty much everything in China revolves around this app. So it's going to be the most useful thing that you can possibly have, the most useful tool that we're going to talk about here today. But for those of you, as I mentioned, that are in a big hurry and just want to jump right into dating immediately, I've got an app for you. The app is called Tantan. You can find it again on iOS devices or Android devices. I have not really got much experience myself with it, but it's my understanding that you download it. Of course, you set up your account, put your location where you're at, put a picture on there, of course, and then it's just a matter of swiping this way or that way, depending on whether you like the picture of the person that you see or not. And if they like you, then they're going to pop up in your thing and you'll be able to talk. And these are people that are looking to date, so I guess that'll speed things up a little bit if you're just looking to get onto the process of dating. So that's going to be the one that's going to speed things up. But you're still going to need WeChat because, hey, they're not going to want to just communicate with you in this silly Tan app, whatever it is, the thing with the fox. They're going to want to talk on WeChat, so make sure you get that one first. First WeChat, then Tan, then you can get on to the process of swiping this way and that. So beyond those two apps, another thing that you can do, because it's very, very popular over in China, is to get into the online, well, not online, but yes, it is online, but on the mobile gaming scene. It's so popular. While I was living in Beijing, they actually had a pizza place that opened in the same area that my apartment was, and it was themed on this whole mobile gaming. So people would come into this shop dressed up in their favorite characters from these mobile games, and they would sit there and eat pizza while playing mobile games with each other. These mobile RPG games. So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to find some of the, well, yes, there are going to be. I'll list them here. Some of the popular games from over in China. If you want to get involved in that scene, maybe you're not into video games, I don't know. But if you are, these are some games you can play that you can maybe meet some Chinese friends and do things that way. Go hang out at the video game themed pizza place or whatever. Beyond that, it's really up to you, because there are so many different Chinese people, you know, they have very, very, very different personalities, and they're not just one way. So it's really going to be up to you and getting people to like you, which, don't be nervous about that. Yeah, maybe that's the one thing you should remember. Don't be nervous. Just go out there and see if you can meet some people. I have at least given you some of the tools that can help you get to where you can have better success. And now, before we end the video, I want to go ahead and I have a question from a viewer from my other channel before I even started this whole thing. He asked about the Chinese social credit system, and I thought maybe I can go ahead and answer some of that. It works a little different than it does here. Obviously, our credit system is not linked to things that you do, like crossing the street in the wrong place, or, you know, if you misbehave on the train or something like that, like trying to sneak on without a ticket, which is impossible. I don't know why they even mention that. Yes, they do mention that if you're taking the bullet train or the high-speed rail in China, it comes over the intercom and mentions, you know, trying to sneak on without a ticket or something, which is, again, it's impossible because they have gates and you have to use your ticket to get through the gate, or your ID, and I really think it's impossible. But anyway, your credit score is linked to these kinds of things. So if you're jaywalking, they have machines that can see your face. It's linked to your ID. It'll take your score down. If you're I don't know, saying things online, spreading rumors that you shouldn't be, according to the law. Now, remember, I understand that there's going to be a lot of arguments about whether it's good or bad, but hey, that's the laws over there. So if you're spreading rumors or doing things that are not in line with the law, then, well, your credit score might drop. And if it goes far enough, you could get blacklisted, which means you won't be able to have a bank account, you won't be able to get train tickets, that sort of thing. Now, to be honest, I think their system is better than what's happening here in the United States, because theirs at least has a framework of laws that you can, you know, kind of figure out how to navigate it. Here, it seems like everything is in the control of a private business. So if you do something wrong, maybe you didn't know it was wrong. Maybe it wasn't wrong at the time, and the next thing you know, you're banned from social media or whatever, and there's not really any framework of rules that you can navigate to figure out how to do that. At least that's how I feel about it. I'm not saying that what they're doing in China is good or bad. I'm just saying whatever they're doing here it sure seems a lot worse to me, because you don't know what's going to cause you trouble in the end. So just some of the things that can happen. Yes, you know, sharing the wrong political opinions, which in China are called politically incorrect, can get you into trouble. But more than that, it's going to be about, you know, crossing the street in the wrong place. And that's not going to, like, you know, you jaywalked and the next thing you know, you're blacklisted. It'd have to be like, okay, for the last 10 years I've been jaywalking, you know, and finally I get blacklisted. It's not going to be like some overnight thing if you do something stupid or make a mistake here or there. But, you know, it gets people to be very conscious about what they're doing and what they're saying and who they're associating with. And that's kind of scary, because I'm seeing that more and more here. But like I said, over there's at least a framework of laws that you can look at and you can kind of navigate, and you know what you can do. Here, you might have no idea, the next thing you know, you've been banned off of social media, and that's it. And there's no recourse because there's no laws governing what's going on. It's just this big company that has everybody on their platform decided to give you the boot. And you don't know why. But anyway, those are my thoughts on that. And with that, if you made it this far in the video, again, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.